Hey guys, this is Mark of Cain part 3, I guess we're up to, since you guys seem to like it when I trash the Vatican, the Jesuits, the Knights of Malta, Freemasons, and all those other secret societies. So I guess I'll continue since the algorithms seem to enjoy that for some reason. But anyway, I'm going to call this part 3. And I want to call this a tale of two temples or two sanctuaries, okay? So you're looking at a Templar chart. You always hear about in the news, it's the Jews who want to build the third temple, but no, it's actually the Freemasons and the Jesuits, or the Knights of Malta. Second temple having been destroyed by Romans, the Knights of the present age and the sons of those who constructed the second temple feel a desire in the new Zerubbabel, that means taken out of Babylon, Zerubbabel, to raise a third temple to the glory of the great architect of the universe. So we've already talked about that plenty, I hope, if you see my other videos. So I want to talk about this concept where actually the first video, Mark of Cain, we saw this. This is the 32nd degree. This is the royal secret, basically. It goes on to say it's really just Catholic. But anyway, it talks about they're coming in through these battle stations, what I would call the stations of Armageddon, but where Malta is stationed forward, all the naval forces. So that's the water, and then they get onto the land through Joppa. That's where King Solomon, Hiram Abiff, and the boys came through, and to build the first temple of Solomon. So that's what they're describing here, okay? They're coming in through Joppa to get to the dry land. If you want to call this Armageddon or whatever, it's spiritual, guys, okay? And then, so it's the land forces for 6 and 7, Joppa and Jerusalem, days 6 and 7. These are different days, okay? So, now we're getting into this concept of, in the Bible, this is going to be the 1260, okay? 3.5 years, 42 months, 1260 days, whatever you want to talk about, the Dark Ages. Okay, most of my viewers probably know what that is. But anyway, what they're doing with these two pillars of Jachin and Boaz is they're creating a bridge into heaven, or they're trying to bridge the gulf, the gap. And Jesus talks about the rich man and Lazarus. There's a gulf that stands between them. You have the rich man over here, Lazarus in the bosom of Abraham, right? And it's the gulf. And this is known as, what is the sign of Jonah? Jonah means dove, but it's the shape of a dove or a bird, okay? Now, the opposite makes the sign of a gull, and that's where the concept of gullible. That's a gull wing, like the Corsair, F4U Corsair. That's a gull wing. It means gullible, okay? So they're doing this. That's now what I talked about, that's station number 4. That's Malta, where the true sign of Jonah is, you meek in yourself, right? So you could say pride goes before the fall, right? So anyway, so they're bridging a gap and they're copying everything. They're bridging a gap into the heavens, right? Where the two pillars combined make the false stairway, Jacob's ladder. And then they're crossing this gulf. This is also known as the Valley of the Shadow of Death, Psalm 23, right? And that's why I've got all this, the sanctuary elements here. So anyway, and then they get onto dry land, okay? So this is known as the land beast, or the United States, or America, if you will. But I mean, of course, you've got Columbus, and that's also the cross, the sign of Malta, right? Very similar. This is a Jerusalem Bible, but look at that. They put that on the front of this. This is supposedly made with olive oil or wood from Jerusalem. But anyway, it's that's very Masonic. So that sign, they're coming in. So here we got, you got Columbus comes over and with the sign of the Knights of Malta, and he gets onto dry land. Now, of course, they copy everything. So when you get into dry land, again, so they're going to have to bridge. So they're bridging this first veil, and then they want to bridge this second veil. So now they're going to set up these pillars again. And this is where John is caught saying, I'm standing on the sand of the sea. And he's looking back in time. But the sand of the sea is now right here, okay? So now they're going to try to jump getting to the most holy. And that is the death decree of Haman, the 50 cubits, the 50 stars on the flag. That's why there's 50. Or the brass clasps of this goat hair, Sasquatch, Bigfoot, Luciferian light, okay? So when they climb over, they're climbing in this light, this goat hair covering, okay? It's the false veil that's removed. The veil is removed in their little Masonic lodges, but it's a false light that they're now seeing. So, and that's going to stem to Ezekiel 38. Let's talk about this, guys. This is just a Bible commentary, a Baptist from John Gill from the 1700s. But anyway, it's talking about the Gog. This guy's saying that Gog signifies a covering or a roof of a house. Okay? Puts himself between God and man. So going back to that, a tale of two temples or two sanctuaries, you have in Zechariah. So I just showed you guys the New Zerubbabel, right? That's what they're saying they want to do under the New Zerubbabel. All right. So let's look up Zechariah and see what's going on. So, we do have a Zerubbabel right there. It's the same guy I just showed you. Okay, so that's Zechariah 4. Now let's talk about this vision of a flying scroll, guys. The floor plan is 10 by 20 cubits. That is the floor plan of the sanctuary. Okay. And the curse that goes is a thief and a perjurer. They're stealing the sanctuary. One side it's a thief, the other side it's a perjurer, and the name is cut off. Okay. So then you see a vision of a woman in a basket. This very much so the whore of Babylon. Okay, right there, all right. You could say Hiram for Cain's mom. And this is wickedness, okay? And look at where this basket's going. It's going with the wings of a stork. That's probably why they say all these babies are delivered by storks, but that's another topic. And it's an unclean bird, and it lifted up between earth and heaven. So what is that? That's called a high priest or a pontifex or a bridge builder, guys. Again, it's a sign of the goal, or what I showed you earlier, this sign. Basically, yeah, that's fourth station Malta, or the sea, because again, they're trying to bridge it, right? Between heaven and earth. And he said, what is this? What's going on? Build a house of land of Shinar. That's just Babel, another word for Babylon, right? Oh, interesting. So this is basically, it's, then it says it's wickedness, okay? So basically this is wickedness, that's right there. They're describing two parallel stories going on right here with Zerubbabel. Yes, we know Zerubbabel, and this Zechariah is all about the temple restoration. This is right after the Babylonian captivity. But it's telling another story of this other sanctuary that's being built. So this is that Masonic sanctuary. Okay, guys? So let's talk about this veil. Okay, so, and then it's talking about this veil. We just talked about it here. And he points to Isaiah 25. Well, let's go there, see what's going on there. Right here. And the veil is spread over the surface of covering cast over all the people. Okay, so it's talking about he will destroy. It's judgment, right? And the veil is spread over all nations. He will swallow up death forever. And the Lord your Yah will wipe away tears from their eyes. Okay. So this veil is spread over all the nations. What veil is this? Okay, so we got this pillar of beauty. Let's go to see what's going on in the Vatican here. Look at this, guys. See these four pillars? Look at the sign right there. Does that not look like a Maltese cross, aka the mark of Cain? Very interesting, right? Okay, so let's see. Oh man, Knights of the Order of the Garter, guys. What are they doing with it's the same concept. They got this veil. What is this veil, guys? Let's look up the Order of the Garter. It was established by Edward III, the King Arthur legend. Oh my, we already talked about that. That's the Holy Grail, and obviously Excalibur and the spear or sword of destiny. So now they've got this the queen or the king, when they're anointed with that unholy, because remember, the holy oil, the olive oil, comes from a little bird, and it's a dirty bird, it's a phoenix. So they're being anointed by this phoenix, guys, or the stork, or the, there you go, the phoenix again. So I want to talk about this next concept here of this veil. So they're trying to, and these are obviously called veils, guys, right? So again, so when they climb over it, that veil is removed, and then that gets them into this light, okay? Now, this is the veil that is spread over the nations, guys. Now, this canopy, okay, and this is placed in between heaven and earth. You can see that. That's what's going on. That's what it's symbolic of. And then they've got that unclean. They might call it a dove, but that's an unclean bird, an unclean spirit. Okay, so this veil is really just the spiritual nature of the world we live in. Where yes, the Bible's true. We're really 6,000 years old. Yes, the flood really happened. So this veil is you want to call it Darwinism. Any ism you want is a veil. So basically, that's what keeps most people dumb. So when they join a lodge, this is the veil that's removed. It's merely this physical nature of the world, and they get into this false Luciferian light, okay? So that's why I got Sasquatch right there, or a Bigfoot cult. So I saw someone comment about Bigfoot and how he's saying, relating it to the mark of Cain, which, I can see where they're going with that, because yeah, there's so much connection with the Sasquatch cult and the Luciferian Esau, Edomite, Red Shield of Rome light they walk in. But anyway, so the movies, Indiana Jones, they're telling this story where basically it's this story, this Gnostic gospel, this false light. That's what Gnostic is. It's just a false light, a false knowledge. And I was looking at this, and then they've got what's called in Masonic lore, it's an Ark of Alliance, guys. What's the difference between alliance and a covenant? Ark of a covenant, that's what it really should say. Alliance means quid pro quo. So you got the Knights of Malta. They're going through the 1260. That would be Europe during the Dark Ages, right? And then these two pillars, this is Jachin and Boaz, the pillars of Hercules, and then you have America right here. So they're bridging the Gulf, guys, and that's what's going on with this Phoenix bird. Maybe if you want to say the dirty bird, a pelican, a stork, however you want to say it. I've got this going. This is the west. It's west to, if you can see, this is actually south, but I have it flipped for the sake of the video, in case you're wondering why the showbread's on this side. But anyway, they're coming in through Joppa, like I showed you earlier, and then they're going to be, for day 6 and 7, it's going to be at Jerusalem. Well, what is that? They're got their Ark of Alliance, guys, their false Ark, their false 10 Commandments. That's the Sunday law. That's the mark of the beast, or the Maltese cross again, like Cain. And they're coming in for their Sunday law, or they're going to do a Day of Atonement, their own Day of Atonement. That's the death decree in Esther, guys. That is what's going on in the tale of 2 sanctuaries or 2 tabernacles and the veil being removed. We've got to talk about the monetary system and the stupid owl that's on the dollar bill. That'll be probably part 4. The owl's sits right there. All right, thanks for watching.